And I have two guests with me tonight. It's a real treat to have Victor Provost and Christie Dashiell. They both have been guests of mine before, separately. And it's a treat to have them both here tonight. Victor, since we have you queued up first, tell us about your new recording.
Oh, I was just talking about how great it is to be here with you this evening, Rusty.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And so yeah, this is my new recording project. It's called Bright Eyes. I recorded it last year, and down at Bias Studios in Virginia, and I've got a lot of wonderful guests and great friends on it. It features Alex Brown on piano, his brother Zach Brown on bass, Billy Williams Jr. on drums, special guests.
Oh Lord, yes.
Paolo Stagnero, Joe Locke on vibraphone, Paquito de Rivera on saxophones, Ron Blake on saxophones, Etienne Charles on trumpet, and my good friends Ted Baker on saxophone and John Lee on guitar.
What a lineup! What a lineup! How'd you hook up with Paquito? How'd you work that out?
So Alex actually suggested me for a gig with Paquito about 2-3 years ago now. Paquito was reconvening his Caribbean jazz project for a concert down in Chile, I think like in 2013, and the original lineup on that Caribbean jazz project was Paquito de Rivera and Dave Samuels on vibes and Andy Norell on steel band. And they made a few really great records in the 90s, but Andy couldn't make this gig, and Paquito, didn't know another pan player to call.
Okay.
So I guess I was the only other one, and Alex, Alex kind of dropped my name. I knew Alex, of course, from being from the area, from being Alex Brown, the piano player, who's been working with Paquito for several years now.
So, which begs the question: how did you choose the steel pan for your instrument, and how did you get into the music initially?
I grew up in St. John in the Virgin Islands, so it's not an uncommon instrument down there. I started on piano. I started taking piano lessons when I was about 10 years old, and then started playing in an after-school program. Started playing the steel drum when I was 11. And I just kind of, I fell in love with the sound and was having a lot of fun in this after-school program. All my friends, all these pretty girls. It was like every, 12-year-old boy's dream. And when I was about 13 or 14, I started kind of digging through my dad's old record collection. I found his record player, figured out how to use that, and pulled out, like, the first 5 records I pulled out were the Cannonball Adderley, Something Else, the Chick Corea, Return to Forever.
Okay, sure.
Yeah,
wow.
Getz and Gilberto, just amazing records. And I fell in love with the music when I started listening to it right there.
Good. So let's get into why people should go to WPFWFM.org and give us a little bit of help financially tonight also.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, where else can this happen? Like, what other radio station is this going to happen? Is this going to happen on where you have you have the opportunity to hear the incredible music, the incredible history lessons, the wonderful perspectives on the news, and everything that's happening in the world today, and it creates an opportunity for artists like myself and Christie and so many artists, other artists here in D.C. to walk up in the studio and hang out with you.
Okay, let's get into some music. I actually queued up the piece with Paquito playing on it, since
okay, cool.
He's his name.
Homenaje.
Yeah, what does the title mean?
It's homage.
Okay.
It's homage. Yeah, it's a piece that I wrote as an homage to that Caribbean jazz project sound.
Okay, well, let's hear that, and we'll talk some more about a variety of things. But let's get into some music. All right, that's called Homenage. Did I get that right?
Yeah, Homenage.
Homenage. That's featuring Paquito de Rivera on Victor Provost's new release, Bright Eyes, and it's just about out
Yeah, just about out. It'll be out. I'll have copies next Wednesday at the release party at Blues Alley.
Okay, and it's on the Sunnyside label, right?
It's actually on Paquito's own personal imprint on the Sunnyside label. So
fascinating.
Sunnyside / Paquito.
Okay, awesome. That's really nice. So you'll be doing a CD release next Wednesday. Sets at 8:00 and 10:00 at Blues Alley. And Christie Dashiell, you'll be doing your CD release party next Wednesday also, right?
Yes, we're twins.
Right, twins. Joined at the hip. So yours is going to be at the Strathmore, at the mansion at Strathmore?
Yes, it'll be at the mansion at Strathmore at 7:30 next Wednesday.
Okay. Conceivably, folks can do both.
Yeah. They can come to mind and go right. It's literally down the street.
Yeah.
To Blues Alley.
Straight down Wisconsin. I've done that.
I wish I could do both.
I know.
I had a similar situation last night. I had a great conversation with Patricia Willard, longtime associate of Duke Ellington. Fascinating stories, and I'd interviewed Nasser Aberdeen last week, about his gig at Blues Alley last night, And after it was over with, Patricia, who's rather up there a little bit, she said she wanted to hang. She said, let's go see Nasser, So Judith, Corey, and Patricia and I made it to Blues Alley in time for the second set.
Beautiful.
So it's possible to do two things in one evening. And Christie, a little bit, you come from a musical family, and I knew your dad when he was in the area, who moved away some time ago, but tell us about your family growing up.
Yeah, everyone in my family is involved in the arts somehow. My dad's a bassist, my mom sings, and my sister acts, and my brothers play with me drums and bass. And so I think I didn't have a choice. It was just, right. Whatever instrument I gravitated towards, I think was the only choice I had. So voice chose me, I guess.
And you've worked with various artists in the Washington area. Who's some of the folks you've been working with?
Yes, Reginald Cinchi, who Victor and I both have worked with for years. Alan Johnson, who's like my big brother. Mm-hmm. So many artists in the area.
No, so and this new release, this is a lot of the artists that we just mentioned are on it. So yes. So who's accompanying you on Time All Mine?
My brothers, Carol or CV, and Christian. CV's playing the drums and Christian's playing bass, and then Alan is playing piano. And then I have a couple of guests, Solomon Howard, who's an amazing opera singer who's, premiered at the Met and all these beautiful opera houses overseas, but he also plays percussion, so he's playing percussion on my album. And then my cousin Warren Jones, who wrote a song and produced a song on the album and is also playing synths.
All right. Yeah. And I see we have an anonymous pledge come in from Falls Church, Virginia. And I think I know who that is, but we'll let them remain anonymous. And I want to thank Anonymous for a nice $100 pledge. So we have $400 to go for pledges online. And which brings up, Anonymous brings up another gig that you have, Victor, not just Blues Alley next Wednesday, but you have something at the Hill Center coming up. Tell us about that.
I do. Let me get all my details.
Okay, no, I want to get the Hill Center in because I am actually in the month of November doing a course on jazz in Washington at the Hill Center on Tuesday nights.
Oh yeah.
And I'm showing the documentary done in the late '80s called Seventh and T. Mm-hmm. That features Jimmy McPhail singing. Let's see, we got in the Yale Lewis doing the commentary. I guess you all don't remember one of the great radio announcers. Started off one of the first announcers on HUR back in the '70s. Yale Lewis. Yeah. Jimmy McPhail sang with Duke Ellington. Mary Jefferson, a great blues singer, she's walking around the neighborhood near the Howard Theater where it's all boarded up, Yeah. And there's a performance with Webster Young, Buck Hill, the late John Malick, late everybody for Buck, Keeter Betts on bass, and Dude Brown. And so it's all in that documentary. And then I juxtaposed it with the following week with Oxygen for the Ears. You know, so we're all, and then the final week of who, like folks like yourself, I'm going to be doing what's happening now, the clubs and who's playing what, and I'll have recordings for that jazz. But it's at the Hill Center.
Yeah, it's at the Hill Center.
And so yours is November 2nd, I think?
Yep, exactly. November 2nd at the Hill Center at 7:30, and it's part of a wonderful, wonderful series of musical acts that are going to be happening over the course of the next several months.
Mm-hmm. No, so the Hill Center it's the old Naval Hospital at 9th and Pennsylvania Avenue Southeast. It's a wonderful location. So so we got lots of things coming up, and I want to thank that one down and $400 to go. So pledge online, folks. Yes.
That's nothing.
One more $100 pledge.
Yeah. The WPFW.org. We need your help tonight. I have a goal of $500. So let's go to Christie's recording now. Tell us about the piece that we chose, "Time All Mine."
Oh, okay. "Time All Mine" is the title track of this album. And it's just about the struggle, I think, that I have and we all have with the idea of time. And it just speaks about embracing time as opposed to running against it or being obsessed with the fact that it's always leaving us. And I think the symbolism in the music is there's like a build-up, and then that kind of just expresses the emotional turmoil that we feel at times, and eventually it just evens out, and that's the evening out represents, just understanding we're all one with time.
Time All Mine. Christie Dashiell, title cut from her brand new release, and she's doing a CD release party out at the Strathmore Mansion next Wednesday at 7:30. Christie, you grew up in D.C., right, or did you grow up in Carolina when your dad moved down there?
I was born in D.C. and I grew up in North Carolina.
North Carolina, okay. So I was going to pin you about how much you've listened to PFW as you were coming up in D.C. whenever you came to town.
Oh yeah, for sure. I remember every summer my dad would cut on PFW, and I don't think I realized its significance. I think until I got to Howard, and I was like, wait. This is the station I used to listen to as a kid. And, just like echoing Victor's sentiments, it's like, I think, a mainstay. DC is it's community based. And I think that WPFW is just one of the mainstays of the community. Absolutely.
So we're looking for pledges online tonight, folks. I have $400 to go. So you go to WPFWFM.org and just click in "Donate Now," and it'll come up under my show as your pledge comes up, and I will be able to see it on the computer as we are talking to Christie Dashiell and Victor Provost. Victor's got a CD out that is coming out on Sunnyside, and he'll be having a CD release party next Wednesday also at Blues Alley. Sets at 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock. And the title cut, "Bright Eyes." This is a lot of your original compositions on this, right?
Yeah, this is the first record that I really kind of concentrated on developing a compositional voice. I mean, most of the songs were written after my daughter was born, or after we found out that we were having a daughter. So there was, I guess, a lot of emotional material to kind of draw from, and that kind of sparked, that was the creative spark behind developing this record. And she was born, and about 6 months after she was born, we noticed that her eyes were. My wife has dark brown eyes, and I have, kind of brownish green eyes. But my daughter had these gray, kind of gray piercing eyes, and my mother started calling her Bright Eyes. That was her nickname.
Okay.
And so we don't know whose side. My wife's grandmother has gray eyes. My mom has blue eyes. So we don't know who she got it from. We don't know what the genetic code is.
Right.
Right. She got it from everyone.
Absolutely. What's her name?
Her name is Victoria Ray.
Okay. Well, this is dedicated to Victoria Ray, Bright Eyes. This features Joe Locke and Ted Baker.
Yeah.
Along with your rhythm section of Alex Brown, Zach Brown, and Billy Williams. Okay. Well, let's hear it, and then we'll talk some more.